All right, everybody. We've got a returning, very special guest. Everybody, please welcome back the great and powerful Cullen Bunn. Welcome, Colin.
Hey,
Hey,
Colin.
how are you? Thanks for having me.
Good. Your name came up in one of my local comic shops the other day. Actually, Two Kings Comics, Chris. The comic shop where Chris and I became best friends and then started the
Well, don't
podcast.
hold back. Tell me what
Yeah.
they said.
No, it was funny. It was
Said
like
you're the worst.
they're the worst. The owner was like, "Hey, have you ever had Cullen on the show?" Because he was like, "We're talking about how the podcast has been doing and stuff." And I said, "Yeah, I think he's probably been on the show the most out of anybody. I think he's up there." And he goes, and then we went on the subject of how many books. He's like, "I don't know how many books he's writing and how he does it." I'm like, "That's just Cullen, man." It's like every time we talk to him, I think we talk about, I don't know, at least 5 to 6 books, and that was it. It was like how much you could write and the quality of what you're writing. It was all good stuff, but it was just funny that your name came up, and because I think the comic shop owner's like, I think it's like every month it's like a new series from.
It's not. It just here's the thing. There was a time where it was nothing for 4 books to be coming out every week with my name on it. Just bam, 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 and that did earn sort of that reputation of doing so many books. I have cut so far back on all of that I'm only working on. I mean, I'm working on a fraction of the number of books I was comics that I was working on. But that even that perception's always going to be there. I think that I'll never shake it. I'll be doing a book. I'll
Yeah.
have a year go by without a book, and someone's going to tell me, "Man, you just put out a lot of stuff."
Well, while doing my intense Googling before this, I think I found like four books you have coming out right now, and not including trade, just regular like floppies and everything. And I'm like, I gotta be missing something. Like something's gotta be missing. They can't just be doing four.
That
Like
sounds
four is what a regular person does, not Cullen Bunn.
that sounds right though. I mean, and some of those like Diablo, for instance, I've been done with that book for so long. Like so,
Really?
yeah, that book. I was done with that book over a year ago. I had maybe closer to 2 years. I had finished writing the Diablo book, and it didn't come out because I think they were trying to time it for the release of the expansion for the game for Diablo 4.
Yeah.
It's very connected to that.
hmm
Um, but it looks like, of course, it starts coming out. It looks like I have more coming out.
So I mean that's a good spot because I'm a huge Diablo fan, and it's awesome that we've talked about how you've always kind of worked on one video game property at least one a year, it seems like. I mean, with the um, Dark Souls stuff, right, or Bloodborne, and then
That would have
it
been
was
cool.
Bloodborne. Yeah, Bloodborne.
Yeah.
You did some Cyberpunk stuff, right?
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk.
And Bloodborne.
Yeah, and
I
now
think that's it, right? For video games, I did some Halo stuff.
yeah,
Too.
Halo. I was gonna say Halo was another one. Yep. But now Diablo. I mean this game's been around for a long time, and I think the lore of Diablo is so cool. So can you talk about that just a little bit, like how you got into that, or
Yeah. The thing is, I've been playing Diablo since the first iteration of the game,
yeah,
and back then, I mean, there was lore. But let's be honest, the real lore was let's go down into this dungeon and find the butcher so I can get his cool
yep,
sword or cleaver or whatever it is. Um, and I played Diablo and Diablo 2, and I mean I've played all the Diablo games pretty heavily. But the lore of it all really just started coming together for me relatively recently. I wasn't super familiar with the lore. And as you said, there's so much of it.
yeah. There's a lot. It's heavy.
But when I started working on this project, Blizzard just sent me so much material, and everything I wrote. The Blizzard team and the Blizzard lore masters were there to make sure I wasn't messing things up. Um, and really, it's a lot like any other any other world that you're hired to do something in is, you know, I don't know anyone except those lore masters who just know it all, who like just have it all, you know, working up here, and they know how it all fits. So that's why they're so important to any of the media or stories that are coming out in addition, because someone has to keep all that stuff straight. It's just like the editors at Marvel or DC keeping, you know, what's going on in their universe straight, because the creators can't. I mean, there's just too many moving pieces, even for something you really love. There's so much that you'll never know on any of those things.
And I know the first issue's out now. Second issue comes out actually a little bit probably when
today as this launches.
Yeah, today as this second issue will be out as this episode releases. But what is like Dawn of Hatred? What is the story arc kind of about?
So Dawn of Hatred follows this barbarian tribe, and one barbarian in particular who have fallen on very hard times. They are struggling to survive, and at that point, they stumble into the influence of this prophet, and the prophet is trying to bring light and peace to the world. It is against everything these barbarians have probably ever believed in, and it's a story about pushing the boundaries of faith and questioning faith, and then from there and look, it's got plenty of Diablo hacking and slashing, but then it's also a lot about this barbarian and his struggle to come to grips with what is really sort of a changing faith for the rest of his people.
And you said that you kind of this done a while back, so it's just coming out to go alongside of the new expansion. Which
I think that's kind of what was going on.
Yeah. So at the time, like, what did they have for the expansion for you to look at to kind of go with?
So pages and pages and books of content and
Wow.
of story and lore and artwork. I mean, they had so much all in, already in place for what was going to be happening.
And did they have an idea of like what they wanted to do with this story, or at least like, was it kind of like, hey, it needs to be a barbarian or anything like that?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't anything that detailed. They had sort of a mission statement, and without spoiling anything, I can't say what that mission statement was, but they said, we kind of want to tell a story that explores these themes and gets to this point and has the readers asking these questions or making these assumptions. So they kind of gave me where they wanted the story, but beyond that, they were kind of like, go for it. And I think I put together 3 or 4 ideas, and they featured different kinds of characters. There was a barbarian one, there was a necromancer one. There were several different that I pulled together and sent them. And it just so happened the barbarian one was the one that, their team all gravitated to.
Was there a new class for the expansion, Mike?
There was, yeah. They brought in Warlock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they also because I mean, I've been replaying Diablo 2 now that they've released it on Steam and remastered it, so I've been grinding through that again. But yeah, they released Warlock, and they released it on every game too, like 3, 4, and 2, 3, and 4, which was awesome.
I'm sorry to everybody out there, Blizzard. I'm not playing it. I mean, Pokemon Legends ZA's out. I don't know what to tell you guys.
It's all right. I don't think Blizzard's missing your money right now, Chris. I don't yeah, that's awesome that you got to explore that, and I mean, it's dark fantasy, right? That's kind of fits your shtick too. Of yeah.
Diablo to me has always been it's always been a bit of a horror fantasy game. I mean, from the jump, so it fits pretty well.
Yeah, so kind of a smooth segue here. A question I have: you have that series, The Far Away, that has kind of like not been on Kickstarter for a while now. What's going on with that one? Speaking of dark fantasy,
well, so a number of things have happened with The Far Away. One of them is we're still the book. There are several issues written of that story. We brought in, however, another writer to kind of take my outline and write it. But the real and there's another issue drawn as far as I'm pretty sure I have not, and I haven't seen it. And that is because the artist on the book, Vitaly Kalchenko, is from Ukraine. And the last time I talked to him 2 times, and the first of those 2 times he said, "Hey, Cullen, I'm sorry the issue's not finished yet. There are bombs falling outside, but I'm working on the comic." And I was like, "Hey, buddy, now you want to talk about? Cullen Bunn does a lot of work. Cullen Bunn doesn't do any work when bombs are falling."
Yeah, that's yeah.
So that's a level of dedication. And I was like, "Hey, don't." Maybe it's okay. It's all right if it doesn't come out for a little while. And then honestly, he was very quiet for a while, and we were all getting very worried about him. And I heard from him a few weeks back, and he said things are real tense still. Things are real touch and go. But the next issue is almost done. So
Wow, well, it's good to know he's safe too.
Yeah.
I mean, jeez.
So it's the Faraway was always a bit of a labor of love, and just something we were having fun with. But yeah, I want him to be safe to that's the most important thing. Him and his family are safe.
Yeah.
And then the comic, when he gets to it, I'm like, okay, that's great, and it's still more dedicated than I can imagine when bombs are falling.
Yeah, that's
Kudos to you and the team for sticking with them and
that's
everything. I can imagine certain other companies just being like, "Well, we gotta get a book out." So, but
well, I mean, and that's the other thing with this being a Kickstarter and kind of just this sort of side project. We can kind of be flexible with everything.
yeah. Well, yeah. Hopefully he's okay because it's a really fun book and I've been enjoying it. So,
Well, thank you.
I guess the next book on your list to talk about, The Autumn Kingdom, is back and it's actually wrapped up now in single issues.
Yeah.
I read the first volume of Autumn Kingdom. What's the second volume doing with your whole story here?
Well, so the first volume, we introduced these two sisters, Summer and Winter, who find this fairy killing sword, this gigantic fairy killing sword that they drag around and hack up goblins and ogres and other fey creatures. But they're trying to find their parents. And at the end of the first volume, they have partially succeeded in that mission. They've found their mother, but that's not enough. They want to go back. They want to continue to explore this sort of subterranean realm of the Fae in order to find their father. And as they do that, the two characters get separated and go on sort of separate adventures into different areas of the Autumn Kingdom, and there's sort of a wraparound story about this character that their father writes about, this Elsethriel, who's sort of this this warrior queen, this necromantic warrior queen who's on a quest of her own, and and throughout the Autumn Kingdom, we see flashes to that novel that her father has written, and in the second one, that character Elsethriel becomes even more ingrained in the story of Summer and Winter. She starts she manifests in our world through fairy magic, as you do.
as one does. Yeah. And so it's wrapping up. It should be. Oh, it is wrapped up now, right? The fourth issue came out.
The last issue of the second arc just came out a week or so ago.
Yeah, and we'll see the trade paperback coming out in October, which is nice.
And I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but are we expecting a volume 3? Is it that one expecting to come back, or?
I would say there are no current plans for volume 3 yet. that could always change. But as of this moment, there are no plans for a volume 3.
Somebody's been media trained, Mike.
Yeah, very, very. No, it's okay. They'll tell us when we stop recording.
No, the first volume was really fun. Like it had that fantasy storyline, but it was also kind of that like people in a strange world, like trying to figure out what the hell's going on, type of story. I had a lot of fun with it, so I look forward to picking up the second volume.
Kind of the vibe of the second volume as well.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, and I think since last time we've talked, I still have to catch up on all this newer stuff. I've almost finished the first omnibus of Six Guns, so I felt pretty terrible after our last interview of never reading it, and now that I know there's those nice collected omnibuses, I'm almost done with the first one. It's really good. It's really good.
Feel terrible.
I do. I still do. So, but
those softcover omnibuses that Boom
really
put
nice.
out are gorgeous.
They're
Like,
really cool.
yeah, they're
They're
awesome.
really nice additions, and the price point's pretty. I mean, for the amount of comics you're getting in one of those volumes, the price point's pretty reasonable.
It is.
Dude, just in general, because I went to a store yesterday actually, and they had a bunch of comics and manga and everything. They had a bunch of those soft cover, whether you call it an omnibus or compendium, as Image likes to call them. They're so perfect. It's like $40 to $60, and you get like almost 50 issues of a comic in some of them.
Yeah.
Like it's unreal the value in that.
And it's easier. I feel like it's easier to read than the hardcover ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of those omnibuses are just unwieldy. I was looking through one the other day just to read, and I was like, how am I supposed to really do this? Come on.
Yeah.
Because I have all the Rom the Space Knight omnibuses, and I literally have to sit at my kitchen table and read it like that. Like I can't just lie down in bed and read it.
Yeah, you can't like set it in your lap. I have the Doom Patrol one, and it's a hardcover. The thing's like a tome. It weighs like 25 pounds. I'm like, I can't just, if I like set this on my leg on the couch, it's gonna fall asleep.
But on a positive note, Mike, if I ever get elected to Congress, I know what I'm getting sworn in with. My Rom the Space Knight volume.
Rom the Space Knight? Oh, hell yeah. Of course you are.
That's a choice.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's Chris's choice. He's the number one fan.
Hey,
some people have taste, some people don't. I don't know what to tell you guys.
Look, no, I'm not throwing any shade on Rom Space Knight. I love it.
Yeah.
I did not get the omnibus editions because I went and got my single issues bound into hardcover. So.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm a big Rom fan.
I'm missing 5 issues. 5 issues, I believe. Yeah, I gotta go through and actually look at them. Cause I'm doing some conning this year, so that's gonna be my big thing is Rom the Space Knight, and I'm trying to get all of NFL Superstar, the Marvel.
What, all 5 issues?
Yeah, all 5 issues, but they're so hard to find, dude.
You're not gonna be at a con, dude. Nobody's gonna be looking for those at a con. Oh my god.
I found 2 at a con like 2 years ago.
Quarter boxes.
I was gonna say the quarter box. Yeah, not even the dollar bin.
I don't care. I want them.
Even a thing anymore.
No,
dollar boxes.
It's always a dollar bin
bins,
now.
yeah.
You'll never find below a dollar bin. Oh man,
I get too
crazy.
sidetracked talking to creators when I'm at cons. I'd rather talk to the small creator in the corner who's like, "Look at my book I published for, it was my dream, and I finally did it." I'm like, "Cool, let's talk about it, man."
Yeah. All right, let's.
Giving you your pitch, and you're just like, "Excuse me, I need 5 issues of Rom."
Yeah. Yeah. Do you
I just saw he has the Marvel NFL book over there. Just you need to shut up for a minute.
I gotta go collect for myself now.
I think I still have a couple of issues of that NFL Super Pro somewhere.
There you go.
Man. Well, if you're looking to offload them, Chris is.
No.
Oh, Colin has taste.
No,
First of all, I don't know that I could ever find them again. My comic collection is the picture of being unorganized. It's just random, hundreds of boxes randomly thrown in there. Every time you go in, it's like finding treasures because it's going to be a mix of stuff.
I had the time when I graduated from college. Oh god, well over 10 years ago now. But I had like the 2 months off before starting my job where I was like, okay, this is where I'm going to organize and catalog all my comics. But from that point on, I never did it again. So now like all my newer stuff, I just have boxes of like randomly. I'm like when I try to find an issue of something, I'm like, well, what year did it come out in? Okay, it's probably in one of these newer boxes, and it's not even alphabetical. It's bad.
I'm in the middle of organizing mine now, and it's hell. Because I went in
I'll
like
never do it again.
7 years without organizing it. It's terrible.
At that point, someone else can just inherit it and organize it themselves. They could just they could do the work. Yeah, because it's not getting done. All right, we have some other projects to talk about, and we got to touch on the Ignition Press stuff. I guess we could talk about Ripcord because that's finishing up in July with issue 5, right?
Yeah. It's underway now. I think issue 4 is the next to come out, but yeah, it'll be a 5-issue series.
And can you give us the rundown on that story?
Yeah, Ripcord is a story of these two sisters. One of the sisters goes glamping in Australia and vanishes. And her older sister, Dylan, comes to the outback, sets out to find her sister. And as she's doing that, she runs afoul of these drug addicts who are these people who are addicted to this new drug called Ripcord that just drives them into a murderous frenzy. And then she also runs afoul of the drug dealers who are making Ripcord. And it turns into this big, violent, very violent action, horror action adventure story. Dylan finds a Gatling gun, this Gatling gun device called the Ogre that fires railroad spikes.
Hell yeah.
And she just puts that to good use against any person or anything that stands in her way. So it's really a story about how far you would go to protect or help someone, maybe someone you don't like, but someone you love, and what you would, what are the limits to that, to where you'd go.
And do you have some thoughts you need to get off your chest about drug dealers?
Sometimes I write stories where the drug dealers are sort of the main characters, and other times I write stories where they're getting shot with railroad spikes from a Gatling gun.
It's Colin's week-long experience with bath salts. It's got to come out to life.
Look, everything I write is about me trying to get something terrible off my chest.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean,
this one's about drug dealers, and it's because I burned the damn toast this morning.
I'm so bad.
I was gonna tell you, Mike. You go glamping in Australia, I'm not coming. They got the giant fucking spiders.
The giant
I don't
spiders,
do snakes. Like I just don't do snakes.
Yeah.
So
bird catching spiders.
Yeah, the bird. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're horror shows.
And they got deer
terrifying.
that went to prison are jacked and they stand up.
Yeah.
I think they're called kangaroos, but
the kangaroos. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
They're just deer that went to prison. Nice. Yeah. That's great. That could, that you should keep that one for a story. The deer went to prison. Prison deer. I don't know, something like that.
It's a great visual. I mean, I knew exactly what you were talking about as soon as you said.
I pictured like deer in prison benching like 400 pounds.
You ever see one that's got a fucking 6-pack?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm not messing with that thing. Who's the artist on Ripcord? Who are you working with on that one?
I'm working with an artist named Anna Kay. She's done a lot of stuff. The interesting thing, Anna Kay's kind of known for drawing beautiful scenes and beautiful people. So this book was a big departure for her to draw characters who are not necessarily beautiful, and definitely situations that are really ugly. And I think I mean, I don't want to speak for her, but I think she's enjoyed the hell out of drawing it. And then our colorist needs a shout out. That's Patricia Martin, because her colors on this book, she worked real close with Anna Kay on it, and it looks unlike the color palette on this book is so different from what you might expect in a comic like this, for sure. But just in comics in general, it's such a cool looking book because and all credit to Patricia for just embracing this weird color palette we had in mind for it.
Did Ignition set up that pairing for you?
So most of the books I've done with Ignition, I've pitched without an artist. attached, and they introduced me to a few different artists. We talk it out, see who's right, who might work for the book, and Anna Kate was one of their suggestions for the title. I think she had worked with Patricia before, but I may be misremembering that.
So it sounds like they got a good eye for pairing people up then.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate to work with a lot of really awesome artists throughout my career, but definitely with Ignition, they've been they put a lot of work onto the art front of making sure the book's going to look the way it should look, and it's going to put its best foot forward.
Yeah, and Ignition being kind of a newer publisher, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but this is your second book with them.
Yeah, Ripcord's my second book.
Yeah, how is the overall Ignition experience been? Like, how are those guys doing over there as far as what you're seeing?
Yeah, they're doing great. I mean, it's they're an awesome company to work with. They're very supportive, very responsive. They're a new company, but all the people that are working for Ignition have kind of been in the comics field forever, and I've known most of them my entire career. So it doesn't feel new in that respect, for me. But they're just very supportive in trying to get to support the creative team, to support the retailers, they're really supportive on all those fronts, and supportive of trying to, instead of, I'm probably going to say I'm going to say something that's not what I mean, but I'm going to say it the only way I know how. They're not necessarily supporting it's not that they're even supporting the individual books as much as supporting me as a creator. So as far as I'm concerned, in the comics world, my next several books will be with Ignition. I mean, I don't.
That's great to hear.
I don't see a world where I want or need to do a book for someone else.
Yeah, and I remember, I know this is the company's got bad press lately, but I remember when you were first starting with Aftershock, we were talking, and you said like you gave them pitches, and they kind of took the pitches that you thought would never get made and brought them to light.
And then you get in my face.
Are you getting the kind of feeling from Ignition that they want they don't want the typical Cullen Bunn book, or they want kind of the oddball stuff that you're looking to get out there? Or,
no, not necessarily. I think they have looked at some stuff that they kind of gravitated to, that surprised me that they gravitated to them, but I don't know that they, when they started working with me, they really wanted me to do the kind of books I wanted to do. So they weren't looking at trying to do stuff that felt different from a Cullen Bunn book, just the stuff that I was into. And that's been where that's been the focus, is they're like, all right, what do you want to do? And a few of these ideas are things that have been in my head for a long time, and then a few are just brand new things I just came up with recently.
So we can expect some announcements in the future. With Ignition Press.
I think there's going to be I think they're announcing my third book real soon. It'll
nice.
Probably be announced by the time this episode is airing, based on what you were saying.
And in your first series,
just in case, I can't tell you what it is.
Okay, all right. Nothing today then. But your first series, Deluge, I remember we talked about that. The trade of that's coming out in August, it looks like, yes. Right? Yeah. So that'll be the first collected edition for that, and that was the prison book, right? About
it's a story of a women's prison that floods, and they're as they're evacuating the prisoners, and they're evacuating the inmates and the guards and everyone. Something terrible comes up in the water, and it becomes this monster survival story.
Nice. Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm just looking at some of the pages, and I see tentacles coming out of the water, Colin.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
So many tentacles coming out of the water, and all the tentacles have like very sharp fringes on them, so they're just really nasty tentacles.
That was the thing I hated. I think it was the newer Mist movie. I had like a lot of those tentacles and stuff reaching out, and
Right.
the worst thing about the tentacles was the sharp barbs on them. I hated that. I was like, that makes it
It's
that makes
awful.
it even worse.
One
Yeah.
that's like a mouth on the end. It's like
Yeah.
claws
Nope.
and a mouth, and it just grabs on and just
Yeah,
tears,
it
your
tears
flesh
your
out.
skin out. Yeah, it's like I'm just take me. I'm done after that.
Now you gotta keep on fighting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I might just roll over. Yeah, I mean you have a lot of amazing stuff coming out, and then we had talked about you doing some prose and a novel that's out. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so my first full length adult horror novel came out a few months ago. It's titled "Bones of Our Stars, Blood of Our World." It's a story of a small town on the coast of North Carolina that is beset by a serial killer who is murdering people and harvesting their organs. And several members of the town, the community, are trying to figure out who this person is. And all that is just sort of a preamble to something much, much worse that happens. It's kind of a book that there's a moment. At least I hope, if I've done my job right. There's a moment where you read the book and you kind of feel like you know what you've been reading, and then it switches and you're reading a completely different kind of novel.
Awesome.
But I had a lot of fun writing it. I loved writing it. I think it's very fast paced. It's got a lot of characters, but I think all the characters have a personality and voice, and you'll either love or hate each and every one of them. And yeah, I think it's honestly, I feel like it's a great novel for someone. Let's say someone who really only wants to read comics. Bones of Our Stars, Blood of Our World's a great one. It's got short chapters. You can get in. You can read a couple
I
of
like
chapters
that.
real quick.
Yep.
Because that's the kind of chapters I like to read. So I wrote real punchy, real short chapters that all come together to tell this much bigger story.
It's I mean that's helpful to get the transition into comics from comics to novels. But I also know Chris was telling me there's an audiobook as well.
There is an audiobook.
So
Yes.
that's nice for us too when we're on the road or something like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, I love audiobooks in general, and these days, if I buy a novel, I typically buy the audiobook too, so that I can read it, and then if I'm getting in the car and I'm going somewhere, I can just pick up and keep going, and yeah, traveling to conventions, audiobooks have saved my sanity more
Oh yeah.
times than I can count.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for me, I drive most of the day for work, my day job. So just putting on a podcast or an audiobook while I'm going just makes the day go a little faster. So I love them. How has since it came out, because that was last October, I believe it came out. How's it been?
November, yeah, November or late,
November.
yeah, somewhere right around then.
How's the whole perception of it been? Like, did the book do well for you, or is everybody happy? Are
I
you
think
happy with how it did?
I think the people who read it are enjoying it. It can always the big challenge is getting eyes on it and getting people to know that it exists. And that's honestly it's the challenge with any publishing these days. And it is not easy, because I remember, leading up to that book, I was promoting it, and I met somebody at a convention, and they were, and I had a big stack of them, and I know this person subscribes to all my newsletter, that they keep up with me, and yet they were like, "Wait a minute, you have a novel out?" I was like, it's just so difficult to promote and get eyes on it. There's the challenge. So the answer is it can always do better, and I want more people to read it. And the reviews have been very positive. So that was the first hurdle where I was kind of like, oh, thank goodness. And but getting getting people to find it, there's the real challenge. It's just as difficult, if not maybe a little more so, than getting people to find comics that are coming out, and that's no picnic either.
Yeah, and I gotta imagine your audience is a comic book audience, so you're diving into a whole new medium that may or may not translate some of the audience over with it. So
Yeah, it's that's just, I've been doing comics for so long. I mean, I got my start writing prose, but then I shifted into comics, and I haven't, that's where I've been for so long. So the bulk of the people who know who I am know me as a comic writer,
yeah,
and now the challenge and the opportunity is to get more people to see me as just a horror creator than just a comic book writer who writes some horror books. So that's really my new, like if I had an umbrella statement for marketing right now, it's I want people to see me as a horror creator that works in comics and prose and video games and TV and film, all those things. So maybe this is my midlife crisis. I've been if I was wondering what my midlife crisis might be. This might be it.
that's better than buying a sports car. I mean,
Yeah.
so has anyone like approached you about any of those things? Like possibly like, hey, Colin, we're doing a new Silent Hill game. You want to come write it or something like that? Like, has anything come about?
Yeah, it's I've been talking to some folks about some video game projects. I've been developing some feature film stuff. I'm always open to those kinds of projects. I've talked to a couple of companies about doing, I guess, licensed prose projects for properties that you would have heard of. So I'm always, with comics, I'm kind of focused. I know where my comic focus is, but then there's all these other elements and all these other kind of mediums that I'm actively. I mean, I wouldn't say active. I'm not like going out and searching for it, but I'm definitely open to the universe to come to me and talk to me about it.
Well, yeah, I remember years ago I was buying a bunch of not Halo comics, Halo novels, and I was amazed to see that like Peter David of all people wrote a bunch of those novels. Like that seems like a left turn, but like he's a writer and he did a great job at them. So I can see
there are a lot of writers who that's what they do. They write licensed media tie-in novels, and a lot of those media tie-in novels are just awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a comic person and you haven't read Joe Lansdale, one of my favorite authors, wrote a novel, a Batman novel called, I'm going to get it wrong, Seized by the Engines, with engines like a car's engine. And I think it's seized or sieged. I don't know. I read it 30 years ago, maybe longer. But that novel is great and has the best. I'll go down swinging saying it has
Captured by the Engine.
Captured by the Engine.
Yeah.
It has the best Alfred Pennyworth scenes I have ever encountered in any format. The best Alfred stuff is in that book.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, because I think I fell in love with Alex Segura last couple of years, and it's through those novels he wrote. And then he just did the Daredevil one that was fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's you see a lot of comic writers make that move back and forth. And
horror is just so popular, and especially in video games right now too. I feel like there's so much coming out, and I was just at PAX East a couple months ago now for video games, and the two longest lines were Blumhouse and the Halloween, like Michael Myers video game, were easily the two longest lines at the con that you couldn't get, and it was like, there's so much cool stuff going on right now. I think we're just kind of, I mean, any medium right now. Did you happen to see Obsession?
I have not seen Obsession yet.
I keep seeing good things about it right now.
I've seen nothing but good things, and I have a
Yeah.
friend who, like, if a movie, not just a horror movie, but any movie
Right.
comes out, he's there watching it like opening night, and he said it's great.
Yeah, and what I heard, like the I think the director wants to pass it along as like a like an anthology about wishes. Like
Nice.
each movie will be like, oh, someone makes a wish, like a monkey's paw thing, right? That just like goes wrong.
Cool.
I think that's a really cool idea. And we did talk about how you almost kind of started this whole Godzilla expansion here. I mean, with what you did with Godzilla Power Rangers, right? And now we see Godzilla almost in every book now. It kind of started with what you were doing, and now he's
Did it start with
because
that? Was there not another crossover of some kind? Well,
There might
I'll
have
take
because
credit for it.
yeah,
but I think the Power Ranger one was one of the biggest where like people were like, oh crap, like Godzilla's popular, and now you see, I mean, you have DC, Godzilla Kong, you have Marvel's going into their third installment, right?
Yeah.
Versus Godzilla. Have you been reading any of those? I mean, I know you're Godzilla.
Of either of them. The stuff with the DC's the legendary universe, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And,
The Marvel
and
stuff's been
Marvel
crazy.
Toho Godzilla. But
Yeah.
no, I haven't read any of those.
Yeah, it's all great. Godzilla fans have been eating good for comic book stuff.
Yeah,
that's
it
for
seems
sure.
like it's such a, and now there's there's an ongoing, there's a Godzilla
Yeah, the ongoing.
out there.
Yeah,
There's some really some cool cool stuff for the Godzilla fan.
yeah,
for
it's
sure.
cool to see the resurgence of the IP because I remember this is how old I am, Mike. I remember setting my VCR to record them on TNT when they would do those marathons,
Yeah, when they
and then
would come
coming
on.
home and having to watch them, like
Oh, hell
those
yeah.
old movies
That-
back in
yeah.
the day.
that was the
So,
way to do it.
Yeah,
Have you thought, like, if you got called to do any Godzilla property stuff? Is there stuff you want to keep doing, or like, do you have some?
Look, I love Godzilla. There was a moment. I want to say after I did the first Godzilla Power Rangers book, that I had 3 or 4 pitches that had been greenlit for Godzilla books.
Wow.
But then the entire the editorial team all changed over there, and all of those pitches kind of got swept under the rug, and it was once they were gone, they were gone.
Damn. Yeah.
But yeah, there were 3. I can't remember the third one. It actually had an artist attached to it. Nothing had been drawn yet. But there were 3 of them. There was one was like Godzilla Prehistory War, which was, I don't know if you're familiar with Stephen Bissett's Tyrant, which is this comic just about this T-Rex that goes around killing.
But yeah. Okay. Yep.
Beautiful comic. But it was sort of my Tyrant. It was just, what if Godzilla was alive? What would Godzilla look like in a prehistoric world? What would that be? And it was no humans, which is different for Godzilla. There's no humans to tell the story and act as our ciphers. And then there was another one called Gone Godzilla, which was going to be if Godzilla was going to get killed in the first few pages by one of his many foes, and then how does the world recover? It was, this is the Godzilla who's defending us, not
Right.
trying to destroy us, right? When other threats are coming and we don't have Godzilla, what would that look like?
Yeah.
But yeah, those were 2 of the
That's
2
cool.
of the 3 that were slated to happen, and then things changed. That
Right. Yeah.
everybody that I've
unfortunate.
talked to for months about those books is suddenly no longer working on those books.
Someone's gonna dust it off in like a few months and be like, "Hey."
Well, what'll happen if if the past holds, what'll happen is in a few months they will get dusted off, and someone else will be writing it, and it'll come out, and I'll be like, "Oh, that's a neat idea."
Yeah. Well, where did that come from? That's unfortunate. I mean, you being a big fan and stuff, and I think that, I mean, the Power Rangers book was so much fun. That was like one of those books where you're like sending pictures of like the splash pages to your friends and be like, check this out.
It was a fun project. I went to a convention a month or 2 back, and people were bringing me the action figures
Oh yeah,
autograph, and I was like, I didn't, I didn't know these were out in the world, and
yeah,
I would have liked to have had those action figures.
yeah. That's awesome. I completely forgot about those. But yeah, that's cool that you got to play in that world, and there's so much Godzilla stuff. Like Skate or Die, there's Godzilla Skate or Die. I forgot about that book.
Well, I saw
Yeah.
that one looks kind of fun. I think.
Yeah, that was a cool idea. I think the important part, and they're doing the one where Godzilla destroys each like a different city,
Every
right?
city,
Yeah,
every state.
I think that's the approach you got to take with Godzilla, is like a new, fresh idea, kind of like those two that you pitched, like a perspective of like a few kids skateboarding around the city, and Godzilla is like coming in. There was a heist book that came up recently. Yeah, that was pretty good. So there's been quite a bit.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of, there's a lot of potential, and I mean, I'm with you. I agree. Godzilla fans have been eating well, and I
Yeah.
hope they continue to have material that they can gravitate to and enjoy. I know there's a Godzilla. There's got to be a Godzilla Ninja Turtles, right? That
Yes.
exists now. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And now they're doing Godzilla Sonic the Hedgehog. So that's going to be interesting.
All right. You know what?
yeah.
Somebody come and get your comics publisher. They're drunk and they need.
Yeah. So yeah, some of these things don't really make a whole lot of sense, but they're
Whatever. Look,
I mean, yeah.
that's fine. If
That's
people
comics though,
enjoy
right?
it and get and they like Sonic the Hedgehog and Godzilla, go for it. Whatever.
It's it's an excuse to make a kaiju Knuckles, man. Like that's all it is.
Yeah, it's gonna. They're gonna.
That's all
That's
it is.
fine. Whatever. That's all good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would like Mike, unless you had anything else, I would like to kind of wrap up with
No, I'm good.
one last kind of catch up. Your Beyond Mortal universe. Any updates on what's going on with that? 'Cause I know you did what was the second book you did, Mike? That you
Jump
like Jump
Scare.
Scare?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
and just haven't heard anything
Scare,
since
yeah.
then, really about
yeah.
it.
I mean, there will be more Beyond Mortal, but it might be a little while before that all happens. Danny Luckert, the artist, and I had big plans for multiple books and multiple ideas. There's basically a graphic novel out there that Danny did that's part of the Beyond Mortal universe that's never been released anywhere. So we have a lot of plans on what we want to do with Beyond Mortal. Right now, it might just be that it's going to take us a little bit to get to them. I would look right away. I'd love to go back and do more Jump Scare. It's some of the most fun I've had doing comics in forever. I loved it so much, and I would write Jump Scare comics for the rest of my life happily if I could. That's not necessarily in the cards. Danny and I are working on something together, but it is not a Beyond Mortal comic right now.
Yeah, I know Mike really enjoyed Jump Scare. He was
Yeah,
really
Jump
good.
Scare was awesome. I really.
Yeah, my hope was that we could have just continued them from there, but it just wasn't in the cards.
Especially the chainsaw
the
part.
Beyond Mortal universe will continue. It might be a few years.
Okay.
Okay. So anyone? Yeah, I know. The original Beyond Mortal OGN I really enjoyed. So everybody like me out there, Mike, just we gotta wait patiently, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was good stuff. It was good stuff.
I know. I write a bunch of books, but I can only write so many. I have to.
Yeah.
Beyond Mortal's not one of them right now.
It's okay. Yep. It keeps us on our toes and looking for more. So, Colin, and thanks so much. And we always appreciate you dropping in and spending time with us. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on or chat about before we wrap up here today?
No, just if you want to find out, if people want to know more about my stuff, I have a newsletter that comes out pretty much every week. You can keep up to date on what's going on with me, and you can get to all that stuff from cullenbunn.com very quickly and easily.
Awesome.
And any social media you're doing that you want to put out there, or just
I'm not as big on social media as I used to be. I post on Instagram a little bit, so I guess Instagram and Facebook, but but I've kind of, I don't do. I have a Blue Sky account, but I can't say I'm very active at posting on it or very good about posting on it.
Probably a wise decision for your mental health, but
Yeah. I used to really be into, I was really into like Twitter and all that for a long time, and then when I got off of Twitter, I was kind of like, oh, this isn't that bad. Not
Yeah.
not being obsessed with this stuff.
Yeah, I think it's
definitely.
healthier not to be on there.
So to all you amazing people out there watching, listening, check out the show notes down below because I'll have links to Colin's website and even a link to the novel because you all should be buying it. I don't know why you didn't buy it. I mean, I told you to buy it when it came out. It was really good. So I don't know why you don't listen to me. It's really kind of just not nice of you all to do that.
I'm forced to listen to you, Chris, so here I am.
Colin, it's always an absolute pleasure, man, talking to you. So I appreciate you stopping by, and we just wish you the best of luck with everything going on, man.
Yeah, thanks, Colin. Great to see you.
Thanks, guys, for talking with me.